What's going on, guys? It is Friday night as we are recording this, but Saturday morning when it drops, and that means one thing, that it is time for Premier League predictions, game week 7, and as Alyx was on last week, we can actually recap a couple of the moments across the weekend. Very interesting. We had Ipswich drawing with Villa, Manchester United being twatted off Spurs, City dropping points, Arsenal nearly slipping up against Leicester, Cole Palmer on an absolute crazy run, and Everton finally securing the 3 points Alyx was promising us. How was the performance, Alyx, in that game? Because I know, obviously, scoreline, we know the crack with that, but was Everton actually good?
Yeah. No, yeah, I would say it depends how you're looking at it. If you're looking at it a pure Everton standpoint, from how I want to see Everton play, then yeah, it was pretty good. But obviously, we're very hit and miss at the minute. We're more miss than anything. So you take what you can get. To be fair, I don't think many of us are really focusing on performances at the minute right now.
It's like, you're absolutely starving all week, and someone gives you, pizza. Like, where'd you get that from, mate? You're like, don't really matter. It's a pizza at the end of the day, innit? Like, you're hungry, you're gonna eat it. Yeah, it's hot. It might be coming from the back of Tesco. It's hot and steaming, mate. You want to eat that pizza, so you'll fucking take it at that point. You're hungry, and Everton were hungry for points, and they got points on the board. So it's the start of something, hopefully. I've always said to you I've had a soft spot for Everton, so I'm happy for him at least. Unfortunately, my team can't double that bargain and double that package for us because they have just been, I'll just leave it at that, and we'll go into the predictions. So
get to them later, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen these predictions before, we discuss each game and obviously discuss the outcome and a couple of individual things. And also there's a banana skin to use and a fire emoji as well for, if it's going to be a high score line or you think a certain team's going to slip up potentially. So we're going to kick it off with the early kickoff, which is usually where the banana skins are. Palace versus Liverpool, though. Palace haven't won one in, I think they've only won 1 in 5, or they haven't won 1 in 5, actually. Yeah, that's correct. And Liverpool flying in Europe, flying in the Premier League, unfortunately. Last season, to be fair, though, Palace got a result against Liverpool. So will that matter at all in this one, or do you think Liverpool just keep steamrolling teams?
I think based off Liverpool's start and also coupled with Palace's start, then surely it's only pointing towards a Liverpool win. But that being said, with 6 games in, Palace, they haven't won yet in the league, but they've got 3 draws, 3 losses. Like, obviously, in terms of points, in terms of results, they're not getting them. But you can tell they've got a good manager there. They've got a decent squad. Poor start, but it's only poor in the sense of the results. And some of them, they've been quite unlucky. And then you look towards Liverpool and you go, they have been smashing teams, or at least, I say smashing in they haven't really battered anyone yet.
The Wolves one was an interesting one, wasn't it, with Liverpool, I thought. Because I thought that was a lot more even. And there has been games where I've watched them and like, they've been caught there a couple of times, but everything just seems to be like the opposite what United is at the moment. It's just smooth sailing and nothing's going wrong and there's no big injuries at all.
Yeah. Everything's looking really good for Liverpool at the minute.
Like, which I hate, and I'm sure you hate as well.
Which is horrible, which isn't nice at all to see. But what can you do? They've started well. It looks like Arne Slot has took on like what Klopp had built over the past, however, like 9-10 years, and then has tweaked it a little bit his way, and they look really good, don't they?
Title
so
contenders?
For me, I think, like I say, I think Palace, 100% title contenders, yeah. I do. I think, obviously, your top 2, it's City, Arsenal going for it, but then Liverpool are very much fighting for it as well, in my opinion. And I think it'll be a decent battle between the 3. So I'm going 2-1 Liverpool, and that's just based off the fact that I don't see them steamrolling them. I don't see it being a 4-5-0. I can see Palace maybe even going 1-0 up, but probably it being 1-1 at a stage, and then Liverpool find the win, because that's what they're doing at the minute. They're just being so, I don't even know the word, but it's just like businessmen, like it's just, they're just getting it done.
I do feel like the honeymoon period is got to come to an end at some point, right? Slot's got to come under a little bit of a sticky patch, you would expect. But I mean, I don't know if that will come in the shape of a Van Dijk injury or, you know, a big loss. Let's say, you know, if they come up against City or an Arsenal, because some of the fixtures have been not favourable, but they've, you know, I don't think they've had anything like maybe a Villa away or, you know, Arsenal at the Emirates or anything so far. I might be wrong, but
No, what we have, maybe we both forgot it, is that they did lose at home to Forest, didn't they?
yeah.
So it's not like they've not been perfect by any stretch, and maybe on another day, you know, whatever team it may be, and Palace are a good team. This is what I mean. They're a good side, so they could easily win tomorrow. But I just think the way that they're going about it, Liverpool, the way that they're getting the job done, that's it. It's a pretty simple 2-1 win, I'd say, for Liverpool.
I because it's the early kickoff and because Palace need points, I would probably agree with the assessment. I think maybe an early goal, I could see that as well. I'm just going to jump in with you though on that one. I agree. And then I think Liverpool, I'm going to absolutely full letter to your face, copy your prediction because it makes sense and I agree with it. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But we spent way too long on Liverpool. So let's move it on to the 3:00 kickoffs. Arsenal versus Southampton. I mean, this is going to be more one-sided than a blind date with a mirror in it. I mean, this is just... It's going to be a smash in this. A 5-0, a 6-0. It's going to be horrendous. Ramsdale returning.
Yeah, definitely. Straightforward. I've gone for a 4-0, me, Arsenal. I think Russell Martin is on borrowed time now, to be honest. I know we're only 6 games in. This will be obviously the 7th. So if you're losing every single week and giving away, you know, poor goals, then change it. In that, and I don't think he will, and that only points to me tomorrow that Southampton try and play out from the back, and they'll probably concede 2, maybe even 3 goals just pure off Arsenal pressure at the top end of the pitch.
You see the Ramsdale narrative already, can't you? Like the newspaper headlines are already written with that one. I actually watched Southampton versus Bournemouth, and I thought in the second half they actually played really good football. I was going far to say they play in terms of on the pitch better football than we do. Like the way they move the ball about. But obviously you need quality when you do that. It's okay, like you said, when you're in the Championship, but the Premier League's just a different beast. So yeah, I think we can both agree on a slapping from Arsenal on that one. Brentford versus Wolves. Wolves still bottom of the league. I actually think this is the week Gary O'Neill gets a result. I don't know why, I just do. And I think Wolves win this 2-1.
I can see that definitely. I've actually picked this as me barn burner.
Okay.
Because I'm going for 3-2. And to be fair, I nearly changed it the other way around. I was like, because it could so easily be Brentford win or Wolves win. I've gone Brentford, just based off the start. But if anything, like you say, if it only points towards sort of like what you're saying in that Wolves are due a result. Brentford have had a good start. They're looking comfortable. So it just goes along with like the script writers.
Yeah, that's the exact way I was thinking about it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we're looking at a decent game there, actually. I really do. So I've gone 3-2, and I'm gonna back Brentford, but we'll see.
Yeah, potential barn burner there, or even a banana skin if you want to class it as that, given Wolves' form. Right, I'll go. Yeah, Wolves 2-1. Did I say? I think. Yeah. Right then, Leicester Bournemouth. Semenyo flying for Bournemouth at the minute, absolutely smashing it in fantasy team. For anyone who's got him, who's 2.7 mil, it's an absolute steal. Leicester is a weird one because I actually think they put up some decent performances, but Alyx Sneeze Cooper can't seem to get it over the line, can it?
Oh, it's good that. I like that. That's good.
You're having that
He
one, yeah?
always looks like he's about to sneeze,
He does.
doesn't he?
On the verge of an allergy attack. Bless him.
He's just right there.
Honestly, you put him right near a tree, he's dead. He's done for. Yeah. But he's allergic to points at the moment, isn't he? It certainly seems like it.
Yeah, exactly. That I've gone for 2-1 Bournemouth, me, because like you say, Semenyo is on form. He's looking like a really good player. Bournemouth are I just think ever since the Andone Iraola, he's proper. The way they play, it's lovely. I think they're a really well run club, and I quite like them.
Do you know what? You couldn't have sounded more Salfordian the way you said lovely. Then you went lovely, lovely.
Lovely.
It's lovely. I agree. I think I can see Bournemouth winning that one. Leicester just seems to be that team. They're just like just a couple of signings. I think from managing to stay up. That's how I feel when I watch him. I mean, indeed, he's been actually pretty good for him. Vardy's rolled back the ears a little bit. But I just don't think that'd be enough. I don't think I know. Bournemouth actually have. I like the way they play football. I like some of the individuals that they've got. I think they've been good. So I'll go 2-1 Bournemouth as well. We're agreeing on a lot of things here. It's great this weekend. Man City versus Fulham. I know Fulham have been good so far, but with City dropping points against Newcastle, I think this is going to be a fierce kind of, 5-1 slapping. I don't know why. I can see this being the barn burner, basically.
Yeah, I've gone 3-0 City. I think they just steamroll them effectively, like proper just get business. Like I said before, like businessmen, like just get the job done, no frills kind of thing. Just a standard 3-0. Like you say, Fulham are a good team. They've had a good start, but like you say, based off the fact that now City will feel like they've got a bit of catching up to do, just literally off one result last week. Yeah, Ireland. Probably a 3-0 win and Haaland hat-trick.
West Ham versus Ipswich. West Ham have been so underwhelming, man. This is the one where I was going through the games. I was like, I don't know. What do you reckon? Because I'm struggling to pick one with this.
I've gone for a draw, but I was so close to giving it Ipswich. I really was. I think
West Ham have been dog shit, aren't they?
They have. I said it last week. I said I knew they were going to be.
Yeah.
Ever since they got rid of Moyes and brought in Lopetegui, it made no sense to me. They're effectively the same manager, only one of them has the whole Premier League experience and he's British. And I'm not saying that's important. Obviously,
a fancy
it's not,
name. Do you think?
Well, I think that's exactly what they've done with West Ham. He's got a bit of pedigree, but really, what has he actually done? Like, he's not really done anything. He's just proven what a terrible appointment he was, and I think I've gone for a 1-1 only because West Ham being at home. That's pretty much it, and just because I don't really have massive confidence in Ipswich as much as I want them to do well, because I find it amazing that they're even there, and I want them to do well. I want them to stay up, and they're playing quite nice football and giving it a good goal, which is what you like to see from these kinds of teams, like your Blackpools and your Lutons and teams like that. You like to see these teams have a go. So, I've gone
like
1-1.
You said, because of with it being the West Ham Stadium, they won't be able to lose in front of Ipswich. That's why I think it will be a bit of a scrappy game. Yeah. And I think a draw. I don't know 1-1 or 2-2, but who knows? Maybe West Ham turn up for once and they fucking start going on a run. On to half 5, Alex. Who we got? We got Everton versus Newcastle. I'd argue actually one of the games of the weekend. I'm really looking forward to this for many I Anthony Gordon returning to Goodison Park is one of them. Looking forward to this.
I am actually. Yeah, I'm confident. I really am. I'm confident, and maybe it's misplaced, this confidence.
Clip.
And it probably and to be honest, I have a lot of misplaced confidence about Everton. But then I'm sure a lot of people would have said that last week about me backing us to beat Palace, and we beat them. So honestly, I've gone for a 2-1 win, me, for us. I have.
Wow, 2-1 win.
I think the hype over Newcastle the bubble needs to pop.
I do like some of the players though, Alex. Like I really like Isaac up top. I think he's I'd like take him in a heartbeat. And I think Gordon, in fairness, has done really well for him. I don't know, there might be a bit of saltiness there or what have you, but you have got really good players. So Everton are gonna have to be on it.
I think honestly, I think Gordon's gonna have the worst game of his career. It's at Goodison, isn't it? It is at Goodison.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was just 100%. I think we beat him, and I think Gordon just goes in his shell because he's gonna get destroyed all game.
Yeah, he's gonna get.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
you
get a
can see
few.
that a mile off, especially the way it went down, and and there was that linked move to Liverpool as well. Wasn't there? I know he wasn't at
Yeah.
Everton then, but there is a lot of.
Oh,
I think he'll get it tomorrow. I agree with you. And I think there'll be a couple of harsh
100%.
tackles, potentially, strong yellows, maybe reds going in. I do think Newcastle are going to win. I have to be honest with you. I think it'll be very
Yeah.
tough, but I think they will win. I think the opposite way. I think 2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah.
But I think you'll put up a fight, and I think you'll put in a good performance. So now there is a game on Sunday at 2:00, but I'm more than happy to skip over that and not discuss that game. But yeah, give it to me, Alex, because we've done the preview today, and I had to give the same
Yeah.
prediction, so I said 5-0 Villa.
Did you actually?
Yep.
What was this? I mean, to be fair, it's not even like a, a mental prediction, really, is it?
Nope.
It's really not. I back Villa, obviously.
Yeah.
I've gone for 1-0 only
Just one.
because I know, but I'm kind of looking at it as like again, like kind of that football script kind of thing. All signs should point to. So you've gone for 5-0. All signs should point to the fact that Villa are at their absolute peak, and then United are obviously certainly in the Premier League era. It's like the worst you've ever done,
Yeah.
and now the pressure's on, and managers got to go, and this, that, and the other. So this would be the perfect thing for sort of like, right, Ten Hag loses his job at Villa Park after a humbling defeat kind of thing.
So, 2:00, the game after Manchester United, Alyx, and people are thinking, wow, you changed, Nick. It's just the camera. The camera died midstream. Get over it. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Forest in decent form. We touched on him beating Liverpool at Anfield before. Chelsea scoring a lot of goals, but I am going to go with the banana skin in this one. I think, like you was talking about before with the narrative, and it's scripted. Chelsea on such a good run. I think they get brought back down to reality a little bit, like the Newcastle fans in the Everton game. I don't know what you think.
I can definitely see that, mate, 100%. Forest have started well. I'm liking the look of them. I'm liking what Nuno's doing there. Chelsea, they're just so strange, man. You can't get a handle on them. Like you don't know which Chelsea you're gonna get.
They haven't
Like
played
at
anyone
some point,
amazing either, have they?
exactly. So they've not really had that sort of test of are they actually a good side yet? Obviously, they've passed sort of pretty much every test that's been put to them, I suppose, so far, but they've not been the biggest tests. I am gonna. I've picked two. I'm saying 2-1 Chelsea. Me, I think within 2 or 3 years, Chelsea will be back up there in terms of proper, genuine title challengers. I mean, obviously with Cole Palmer, right now
Best player
there's
in the
not many
world
better players than him.
right now.
Yeah, let's be real. Right now, he probably is.
You know what?
And then
I was speaking about him the other day, Alyx, on a stream, which has got a load of Chelsea fans riled up. Like, there's about fucking 200 comments of Chelsea fans saying, "You never getting him." I was basically saying I'd love him as a Bruno Fernandes replacement. I appreciate, it just won't happen because of contract situations and stuff. But when you watch him, he reminds me of like a modern day kind of David Silva, Perez. That kind of echelon when he like just glides across the pitch. He's so good in tight spaces, offers solutions everywhere. Right foot, left foot. The weight of pass is always perfect. Like, he's such a fucking good player. And you know what I love about him as well? He's Mancunian. He's from Withenshaw. He's a United fan, and he just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
When he gets his asked things, he's like, what? Like, he doesn't care about anything. He's so normal, and that's why I think he's so likable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what his IQ is.
Oh, it's not up there. Yeah, like when he says like chippy chips.
But that's probably how he's able to just.
No, yeah, he's placid. He doesn't overthink things.
Away because it's like he doesn't realise the magnitude even of what he's just done, kind of thing. Like, you've just scored 4 goals in the first half.
Did I?
2-1 Chelsea.
Sorry. Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. Okay. Brighton versus Spurs. Goalfest?
I hope so. I've gone 3-2. I've gone 3-2 Spurs. I'm hoping it's a goal fest. I've gone for Spurs away. I know. I know. I think again they're another team who are just sort of they're impressing me in the way that they're going about it. They're sort of going under the radar a little bit. I think Spurs. I really like the manager. Like that, maybe that's just it.
Can we
I'm a
just have
big
a
fan of
conversation
him.
about the manager, right? Because I do think he's become a bit of a darling in front of people. And before that United game, we was directly level on points, basically, same position.
No,
And I think because Andy's a bit, he says, mate, you're all right, mate. You know, it's big end, you know, fucking press conference. And, oh, yeah, you know, Sonny's come in and he's doing really well. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. He's still naive tactically a lot of times. I love the football he played, very creative. The Highline's fantastic. They've got some individual great players. Maybe I'm a little bit salty because they beat United at the weekend. That's probably got something to do with it. But I think people are overhyping him a little bit.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Like what I was saying about Russell Martin earlier, where it's like that stubbornness, where it's like this is how I want my teams to play football. So regardless of who I'm playing, what system they play, regardless of even bloody the weather conditions or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you've got to factor in all these different things for one specific game. I think, and managers like that, like and is where it's like this is how we play football. Like I'm not going to change. This is how I like to teach football as well as watch football. So this is what I want.
Is that a sustainable style, though, to win things? Because I don't think it is. Because Ten Hag's, I know they play different football, but Ten Hag's so stubborn and setting his ways the way we want to play that he's quite literally killing this team completely off and killing at any chances. But it's weird because at the same time he's won trophies. So you're like, well, it does work in individual games and, you know, in certain circumstances, but to replicate it over a 38-game season and get something successful out of it, I don't see it.
That's what I mean. Because on one hand, you're like, well, good for you for sticking to your principles,
Yeah.
and it is eye catching. Like it can be really lovely football, but then you're also the goals you're conceding are pretty much because you're playing that way. I like him. I like how he plays. I like how he is as a man. Like you say, like he's become that sort of media darling because he is that approachable, down to earth, and kind of like says it how it is type of guy. I just want him to do well. I think it just boils down to that, just because he is such a likable guy. But as well as I also liking his story as well. Do you know what I mean? Like what he's to get to where he is now. Like the clubs that he's managed and the route that he's taken and all that kind of thing. I think it's pretty amazing that he's ended up as a Premier League manager. So I've gone for the Spurs win. Not kind of because I want it. It's just I've done it out of logic. I think
I'm going to go for the mirrored result. I think Brighton are 2-1 or 3-2. I think they beat Spurs. Just checking, that's an Everton shirt you've got on there, right?
it is. It is indeed.
Just double checking. It's not a Spurs one on yourself there. Do you do a banana skin game there or just a barn burner?
Oh, I didn't. I suppose the only one really out of them that you could describe as that is probably the Everton result that I've gone for.
So can you just on concrete on you know to the camera? Everton are going to beat Newcastle on the weekend 2-1.
Everton are going to beat Newcastle United on the weekend 2-1.
And who's going to score? Dwight McNeil, of course he is. There's no one else.
Yeah, I know.
The boy.
Probably McNeil and Keane, actually.
Okay.
Genuinely.
All right.
Wouldn't even surprise me.
Well, anyone who's watching currently right now, let us know what you make of the predictions. Challenge us in the comments. Let us know which games you're excited for the most and where the potential banana skin and barn burners could appear. Apart from that, thank you for coming on, Mr. Entresol.
That's for having me on.
And yeah, enjoy the game, guys, this weekend. Don't watch United and Villa. It's pointless. You know what's going to happen. By this time next week, Ten Hag could literally not be at the club. But we've got international break, haven't we?
Oh
no. Anyway. Right, yeah.
No,
Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate Alyx, and we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Yes.